Not all of us want women right together.
Hunky, please. Okay. I get so tired of y'all trying to separate yourself from the womb of Satan. You hunky heifers give birth to white men, raise white men, cultivate them in all the bad things, and then want to separate yourself from it. You see, hunky, it actually, when you go back to your cave history, y'all actually was running shit. Okay? Oh, wait, this one. Oh, this one's about how y'all were removing titties to go fight. Better aim. Yeah, at puberty. Y'all didn't waste no time. And it didn't affect your cave action over there. I haven't one breast, but hold on. It was actually the cave heifers that decided to wage war once an enemy was engaged, and it was both the women and children. Y'all have always had low birth rates. You honkies are so desperate to have people trust you so bad, but you being desperate for us to trust you tells me you can't be trusted. Trustworthy people don't have to beg to be trusted because they're trustworthy. Their behavior, their lifestyle, everything. So, yeah, I think you guys need to do a little bit more self-reflection. Okay, learn your history, and you got to go way back to the caves, because you go back to the caves, you're going to start identifying some shit you guys are still doing today. It's called the cave Neanderthalic lineage. That's what we call it here. You guys have the Thal gene in ya, even the honky heifers. Okay. You're welcome, okay?
All right, we're going to first start off by giving all praises and honors to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rikah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elder bishops of the great Milchamah who taught us this truth. I'm the servant Milchamah-ba, coming back at you with another video, and that video there was one of the many that a lot of Edomites are starting to be exposed. It's like every news, well, this is my news folder, but it's like everything is going back to Esau Edom. Like his exposure is being, he's being exposed. Okay. And matter of fact, that woman, she said a lie. I really wasn't gonna make a video on that particular reel, but there's just so many of them. I'm trying to clear them out. So that's, and something she said made a lot of sense. She said, it just, I guess the woman at the beginning was trying to put the blame on the so-called white man, but what's that? I mean, she really can, because that's what the man holds the seed, to repopulate or populate, men and women. So, but this woman here, she was going out saying you just can't put it all on them, which, I understand what she means, but, in a deeper sense, I'm saying, all women, women and men come from the so-called white man, if you understand. All right, so, matter of fact, let's see.
Not all of us want women right together.
Hunky, please. Okay. I get so tired of y'all trying to separate yourself from the womb of Satan. You honky heifers give birth to white men, raise white men, cultivate them in all the bad things, and then want to separate yourself from it. You see, honky, it actually, when you go back to your cave history, y'all actually was running shit. Okay?
Yeah, that's Job. Let's see, that's in the book of Job. It goes into is it 37, 36? Matter of fact, she's saying they were going back to the caves, and they was once known, they was Well, they're known as the wild man. Okay. I can't even remember where. Let's do this. Yeah, there we go. Job 30:6. We'll start at 5. Well, we can. As a matter of fact, yeah. And I think I read this already once, but it's always just a repeat thing to, Job 30:1. It says, but now they that are younger than I have me in derision, whose father I will have disdain to have set with the dogs of my flock. Yea, whereto might the strength of their hands profit me, and whom old age was perished. For want and famine they were solitary, feeding in the wilderness, in the former time desolate and waste. That was she was going into that, where back in the those times of them being in the caves, showing you how powerful Yahweh Shem Yahushua is, because he brung them out of that base stage, being base, grunting, and that scripture goes into that. It says, who cut up, verse 4 says, who cut up mellows, or should I say, who cut up mellows by the bushes and juniper roots for their meat. They were driven forth among men, they cried after them as a thief, to dwell in the clefts of the valley, in caves of the earth, and in the rocks. See, this is where they were. Okay? It says, among the bushes they braved, under the nettle they were gathered together. They were children of fools, yea, children of base men. They were violent in the earth. Okay, so in verse 9, it tells you how they are now. Okay, it says, now I am their song, yea, I am that byword, the byword, what they call so-called black men, African American, because that's a byword. Call you black, that's a byword. They call you so-called Negro, nigger, what else? Monkey, and when they're the biggest monkeys. They're the Nephilim. Hey, like this one black woman, so-called black woman, I had a few of her. I had a few of her videos. What she said they the so-called white man is the new N-word. She said the Nephilim. The Nephilim. Okay? She said they the new N-word. Hey. She got a disdain for him, and I understand. Okay? Verse 10, it says, they abhorred me, they flee far from me, they spare not to spit in my face. And this is what they do, man. So let's get another
not all of us white women. And not all of us white women.
I think she said something about them.
You can't be trusted. Trustworthy.
Yeah, they definitely can't be trusted. Well, how does the scripture go? They are. Is that Job? Let's see. They are. How does the scripture go? I hadn't seen it and read it in a while. It's they're forgers of lies. Yeah. Let's put lies. And I don't know why. I should just put forgers of lies. I think it's Job 9 and is it not? It can't be 9. I just can't remember. I think it's damn. I can't think it right off. Forgive me. I don't know why. I should have just put. Job 13:4. It says, "But ye are forgers of lies. Ye are all physicians of no value." That's part of his his blessing was deception. The forgers of lies. So let's get another one.
Little white kids had the power to get you killed.